Genesis Khalil Rowland is a 20-year-old underground artist from the underground era of rap who's known for his unique emo style of rap and is also known for being open about his hardships, heartbreak, and things going on in his life that happened during his youth. This artist would be known as TopOppGen. Genesis Rowland, also known as TopOppGen, was born around October 29, 2005 and is from Asheville, North Carolina, and raised in Charlotte after moving there with his parents pretty early on during his childhood. Growing up, TopOpp would grow up with a single mother and a grandmother, and pretty early on during his life, TopOpp would withdraw himself or stay away from his peers, choosing to stay inside all day and play video games and play basketball while with his mom and his grandmother. Now, one of the leads to his influence being his god sister, who was also an artist that would go by the name Breezy Boo, which she would take him to some of her video shoots and parties and other shit like that, would pass away by the time TopOpp was around 12 years old, which would have a very big effect on his life, especially at that age. And another passing that would have a very big effect on his life would be the passing of his grandmother, which she would pass away at around 14, 15 years old. Now, growing up, TopOpp was a very good kid, good student in school, everything, which at some point he'd even be on the news for education. And not only that, growing up, he's also been beaten up, pushed around by others in school, and bullied multiple times, and there's a lot of footage of it, which would eventually lead to TopOpp starting to get involved with street shit when he was just around 14, 15 years old, joining a gang called the 93X sets, which were groups made by people that he actually messed with and people that were around his area. Then soon getting kicked out of school in the 10th grade for allegedly causing riots, and he would also go to jail a couple times based off gun charges and drug possession, with the longest time that he's ever done being only 2 months. Later on in his life, Gen would go on to start making music at around the age 15 years old with the inspiration of a friend that he had that also wrote music and also wanted to follow the path of his god sister who had passed away back when he was 12 years old, which this would make him start writing as well. During this time, TopOpp would make his music by recording himself rapping while the beat that he picked out would play out in the background, making his music very unlistenable. Now, I would pull up one of the songs as an example, but after him signing to his label, Signal Records Columbia, all of his old music would be wiped off the face of the earth, including songs that were actually made using recording software like FL Studio or Audacity, which would obviously be the time TopOpp would get better at making music, and his music would be way more listenable compared to when it was then. But the oldest song that he has being up on SoundCloud, or Leave Bad Bitches on Red, they're getting 266.1k plays on SoundCloud, the music video getting 352k views on YouTube, and the song getting 420.5k streams on Spotify. And another track, that being Make It Worse, with it gaining 246.9k plays on SoundCloud, the music video getting 345k plays on YouTube, and the song getting 601.1k streams on Spotify. Which both these songs wouldn't be the best, of course, with the overall quality of the song just being only decent, but I guess they were good enough for his label to leave up on all platforms as his first 2 songs. In his next track, Realest Shit I Ever Wrote 2, TopOpp would go more in depth about his hardships, heartbreaks, and things that he would have going on in between him and his mom. This track would also happen to have him maintain his emo style of rap and would go on to get 271.7k plays on SoundCloud, the music video getting 522k views on YouTube, and the song getting 825.1k streams on Spotify. Then later on during his career, he would drop a song that would stand out compared to all the other ones that he dropped previously, called Let Me Hear It. This track will stand out because it showcases all the talent that's built up over time. The song would also happen to have way better sound quality and way better mixing and mastering, with it being very on point. But sadly, the song would not get distributed to Spotify or Apple Music. It would only be on SoundCloud and YouTube, with the music video also being on YouTube as well. But fortunately, the song will get 823k plays on SoundCloud and the music video with 1.2 million views on YouTube. This would go on to be the song that would be his first breakout hit. Meanwhile, TopOpp had all this music stuff going on. He would make sure he got himself out there, obviously by promoting his music, but he'd also appear on 20v1's vlogs, interviews, TikToks, growing his fan base more and more by the day, which when doing this would also allow him to show off his personality way more and have fans attached. But something that is noticed a lot about his personality is his heavy use of drugs due to his god sister's passing and other stuff that he had going on throughout his life, and on top of that, his grandmother passing. TopOpp will also every now and then talk about offing himself and saying that he's not going to do it until he tells his story through his music, which could be a bit worrying, noting that this is someone who has lost role models during his life due to street shit and just other shit in general, has been bullied, beaten up, went through heartbreak, and that stuff that he had going on between him and his mom, etc. So it'd be really hard to tell if he really means it or not. Then again, he has a whole highlight on Instagram explaining on how he's a failure in life, basically. Later on during his career, TopOpp would release a song that stuck out a lot, which it stuck out due to its weird sounding drill beat being paired up with sad lyrics and his emo style of rap, and that track is Hello. This track would be his first track to surpass 1.9 million plays on SoundCloud. The music video would also end up getting 3.3 million views on YouTube, and the song itself would get 4.8 million streams on Spotify. Then there will be yet another track that he'd also release, also standing out, called End Up Dead, which will stand out due to the beat sounding like a mix of alternative rock and hip-hop, which this song will go on to gain 1.8 million plays on SoundCloud, the music video getting 3.7 million views on YouTube, and the song getting 4.4 million streams on Spotify. And with all these back-to-back hits being released, surpassing 1 million views, this would of course speed up his growth even more and would cement him as one of the best, fastest growing artists out of North Carolina as of right now. During his career, TopOpp would also become good friends with Alabama artist fattmack, and it would have multiple songs together, those being Do You Love Me by fattmack, What You Wanna Do Today by TopOpp, Do or Die by fattmack, Dirty Cup by TopOpp, and they would also have an unreleased track together called Sorrowtown. And honestly, these two artists remind me of X and Juice and make a great duo together, so I genuinely hope that we do not lose them. TopOpp would also be in a highly public relationship with female artist Aspen Cartier, which would have TopOpp make a song called Cute Like Aspen, which would gain 1.7 million plays on SoundCloud, the music video with 5 million views on YouTube, and the song getting 3.8 million streams on Spotify. TopOpp would then later on release his second album, K-Lon, which has a total of 14 tracks and one feature, that being fattmack on Dirty Cup. This album would go on to get 70k plays on SoundCloud as of late 2025 and 132 million total streams on Spotify as of currently. And that is the story of TopOppGen. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Y'all can follow me on Twitch, TikTok, IG, and Twitter. I got a second channel too. I appreciate y'all boys for watching. I'm out this bit.
Nigga fuck with a Chimpagane.
Yeah, Chimpagane.